Well, all right, all right, all right. It's another glorious Wednesday, my darlings. And, honey, get your crumpets and everything together because you know what time it is, honey. It's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, babies, with Big Meech. Hey, now, what's going on, tea sippers? I want to thank you all for your love and your support for coming out and spending your Wednesday afternoons with me if you're on your lunch break or off work today or whatever the case may be. Thank you. If you want to chime in on the conversation, honey, please feel free to do so at 347-205-9183. Once again, 347-205-9183, okay? Now, let me say my disclaimer. This show is for mature audiences, and the language and subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matters. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised. Ha, ha, ha. Today's show, I titled it lovingly, honey, Friends and Lovers Airing Their Dirty Laundry on the Ski Trip. Okay, my guest today, darling, is a wonderful, wonderful film director and writer and producer and all of those things. And I'm going to get into his intro in a minute, but I just wanted to give you that title right there. Friends and Lovers Airing Their Dirty Laundry on a Ski Trip. We're going to have some fun today, honey, just some fun today. But before we get into all of that, let me say hello to all of my sponsors and thank you all for your love and your support and for allowing me to do what it is that I do. So thank you to Trade Day Management and PR firm. At Trade Day, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088. Again, 678-523-3088, or email her at tradedaypr@gmail.com, tradeday, TREADAYPR @gmail.com. Also, Pharaoh's Treasure Box, fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements, creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179. Again, that's 248-688-5178 or 5179. Or email at pharaohstreasurebox@comcast.net. Again, pharaohstreasurebox@comcast.net. Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your soul. Specializing in gospel and inspirational house dance tracks. For all of your gospel and Christian production needs, contact Paris Hairston. He's the CEO at 347-406-7734. Again, that's 347-406-7734. Or email him at paris42268@yahoo.com. Again, that's paris42268@yahoo.com. C-Train Productions. You're aboard the right train for all of your entertainment needs with C-Train Productions. Omar Casserly is the CEO and founder. For all of your casting, producing, and production needs, contact Omar at www.ctrainproductions.com. Once again, www.ctrainproductions.com. Life, Fellowship of Christ Ministries. Live in freedom everywhere. LIFE, Life. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of the Ecumenical Social Justice Ministries, brought forth to free the oppressed and introducing a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at mustardcole@yahoo.com. Again, that's mustardcole@yahoo.com. For more information about when services are being held, contact him at 313-833-9278. Again, 313-833-9278. Echam Vidal Productions, Couture. Enjoy high fashion with a luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture. Designs by Ms. Michi DeVale. For more information, contact Michi at 313-996-9807. 313-996-9807. Big Brothers Network, the BBN, a new online web magazine designed to show the world the class and style of the debonair man of size and his admirers, launching its first edition this Memorial Day weekend. For more information and for advertising rates, contact Big Daddy Tony Brown at tony@bigbrothersnetwork.com. That's Tony at BIGBROTHAS network.com. Special announcements. 5 More Artists Detroit presents an evening of art, jazz, and theater, Saturday, June 5th, 2010, at the Samaritan Center, 555 Connor Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Tickets for this event are $15 in advance and will be $20 at the door. Portions of these proceeds will benefit the Uplifting Communities faith-based organization. For more information, contact Peter Jackson of Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179. Again, 248-688-5178 or 5179. Also saying thank you to our newest sponsor. This is ShowtownTV.com. Showtown, SHO-TOWN TV.com. We are not a website. We are internet television. Carlon Regina Dixon is the overseer and videographer of this wonderful establishment. For more information, go to that email, www.show-towntv.com. Okay? Thank you so much to everyone and for all of you who love me and support me and all of those things. Okay? Now, I have a wonderful, wonderful guest. My guest is phenomenal. I'm going to say that right off the bat because I enjoy his work and I aspire to do what he's doing, okay? Mr. Maurice Jamal is an award-winning director and producer who has broken new ground in the world of TV and film. He is a creative force behind the films The Ski Trip, Dirty Laundry, and Friends and Lovers. Now you see where I got the title from. Ha-ha. He has received both the NAACP Image Award and the GLAAD Media Award nominations. Mr. Jamal has been profiled on CNN, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Essence, Black Enterprise, Out, and The Advocate. He was the first black celebrity to be referred to as a gay African American by Ebony and Jet magazines. AOL Black Voices recently listed him as one of the top 25 black filmmakers, and Out magazine selected him as one of the top 100 most influential gays in America. His biggest achievement is his current role as one of the founders and presidents of Glow TV, America's first urban LGBT television network. Without any further ado, my darlings, I want you to make him feel welcome, make him feel like you're listening and got all of the information, because this is the one and only Mr. Maurice Jamal. Hello there, my darling.
Hey, baby, how are you?
Honey, I am everything, and everything is me.
I love it. I'm going to steal that if I can. I'm going to steal that.
Okay, go right on ahead.
That is it. I am everything, and everything is me. All right,
it's
now.
It's me. That's it.
That's
okay.
It. I'm really happy to be here, man.
In a nutshell.
Oh,
I am so happy, and I thank you for dishing your tea with us, honey. And as I said, you know, I'm aspiring to have a career as lavish as yours, and as wonderful and as fulfilling, you know. And I want you to walk us through it, you know, how you started and how you got here, and then where you're going to go. So let's go from the beginning. Take us back to those first few moments of Mr. Baby Maurice Jamal, honey, with the dream and the goal. Okay.
Ooh, I got to go way back. Let me sit back and let me sip on my tea. You know, Yeah, I'm just a gay boy from Oakland. I always say that, and
Mhm.
you know, and like many of us, I mean, I think sort of escaped the world that I was living in, and fantasized and did so through movies and television and stage plays and music. I think like so many gay men and women do. So for me, you know, I feel so blessed because I'm actually living my dreams. This is what I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid. And you know, it was wonderful. I didn't imagine when I was a kid that I'd be able to do it, you know, as an openly gay black man. And for me, that has been far more of a blessing than a challenge. Yes, I've always wanted to do it, you know, but you know, sort of looked at art and career as a hobby initially, you know. You know how it is. If you're black and you speak so well, you're either going to do politics, be an attorney, or women, or go to the pulpit. One of the three, right? And I was definitely on that track. And actually considered being a minister for a very long time, up until like my first or second, up until like my first or second year of college. I was at Morehouse, and then just sort of got, you know, did a play off Broadway when I was 19, and that was it. Dropped out of school. And dropped out of school. My mother chased me around the house, literally. And gave me 6 months to make something happen. And I did. And I founded a theater company in San Francisco and started working and did stage work for a number of years, and then started writing for the stage and started directing for the stage, and you know, started to go out on auditions for TV shows, but they always wanted you to play thug number one, or, you know, or gangster or
prisoner.
Right, exactly. Right. And I'm not exactly the thug type, so that wasn't working well. And really just decided I wanted to do my own thing. And honestly, you know, I'll share with you, I was in Atlanta hanging out with some friends, and it was the weekend that Aaliyah's plane crashed. And I had someone very dear to me who was on that plane, and his name was Anthony. And Anthony was into makeup and fashion and hair and all of that. And I remember us talking in Oakland, and one day he was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to L.A., and I'm going to pursue my dreams. And I'm going to make it big, and I'm going to be me, and I'm going to do what I have to do. And I remember seeing it and just walking outside and sitting in the parking lot and crying. And this guy I didn't even know, and this is at a gay club, came up to me and asked me why I was crying, and I told him. And he said, so what are you going to do about it? And I remember thinking that I needed to do what Anthony had done. I needed to live my life. So I packed up my bags and moved to New York City and started on the grind. I mean, my first job was, you know, grabbing coffee on the set of Spider-Man. And you know, within a couple of years, I was assistant directing and working on TV shows, and then I was on Chappelle's Show, which was a great big break for me, and then Ski Trip.
Yes, God.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a blessing. So, and not easy, but I think when you walk in faith, when you walk with the belief that there's something in life that's greater for you, you find that greater thing. Yeah, so I was lucky and blessed, bro.
That's interesting. Let me go a little off kilter here, because I would love to hear your take on this particular phrase, because we use it so much. And as you were just saying it, then I had a little epiphany when you said that your friend would say, "I got to do what I need to do, and I do what I have to do. I got to do what I got to do." What does that coin phrase mean to you?
Well, you know, I'm a spiritual man, and I believe that we are put here to be our greatest. And we're not put here to be part of who we are or a shadow of who we are. And we're not put here to please other people. We're here really to amplify and magnify all the blessings that are put inside of us. And so for me, that meant, you know, that I knew that I was a writer. I knew that I was an actor. I knew that I was creative. I also knew that I was black and that I was gay. And so for me, I was going to be all of those things. You know, Audre Lorde, who's amazing, was a lesbian and suffered with breast cancer and was an activist and a poet, once made a statement, I'm just going to paraphrase it, where she said, "Don't divide me against myself." Don't tell me I have to be one or the other. I can be all of it. And so I really sort of naively thought that I would do it all. And I'm glad that I had that level of naivete and that I had that kind of childlike innocence in approaching my career, because I really just thought, well, I'll just do it all. And, you know, I'll be black and I'll be a member of the hip-hop generation and I'll be gay and I'll be this and I'll be that. And it worked out, and I'm glad I did. I'm really, really glad I did.
Okay. Lovely. Now, see, being a spiritual person in Hollywood, I don't know. And I chuckle because sometimes it may seem as though it's oxymoronic.
Right.
You know. However, how have you been able to let your authentic self shine through all the muck and the mire that the business of show says is to be?
Wow. It's not easy, man. It isn't. I mean, and it's continually sort of checking in with yourself. I mean, I think it's a couple things. I always say that I want to have people around me who tell me the truth. I want to have people that tap me on my shoulder and go, Michael Jackson, that's one nose job too many.
Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You want to tap some people. Right. Because Michael didn't have that. Let's keep it real. Michael didn't have that person that tapped him on his shoulder and said, boo. Boo.
Exactly.
Slow it down.
Exactly.
And so for me, I've worked really hard to sort of weed through, you know, the snakes and the dragons and the, you know, and all the, you know, the wonderfulness that is the ridiculousness that show business, and have a good core set of brothers and sisters who keep it real with me. That, and I'm really grounded with my family. I mean, I get out of Hollywood as much as I can. I spend a lot of time in the Bay Area with my family, because, you know, to my mom, I'm just her son. So, you know, it's like, oh, baby, you were nominated for an NAACP award. That's fabulous. You know, we need to paint the garage. I mean, you know.
Exactly. Okay.
None of that. I mean,
come on over here and take this trash out.
Right. I'm like, but Mama, yeah, baby, put the Emmy down and take out the trash. And, you know, and she's great. And, you know, and my whole family is that way. It's so funny. Once I'll share with you one Christmas. My sisters and I were in New York, and I couldn't come home for Christmas time because I was working on dirty laundry. And they're like, we don't get what the big deal is. They're like, you know, it's not like anybody knows you. It's not like anybody cares. It's really funny. And so as we're walking across the street going to take my niece ice skating, a couple of brothers were in the street, and they were like, oh, we're really fans. We really enjoy your work and blah, blah, blah. And my sister swore that I had, like, texted somebody. To like come and say something just to impress them. It's hilarious. But yeah, so my family keeps me humble, and I love kids, and there are kids in my family, and they keep it real. Plus, you know, honestly, I'm pretty much a down to earth guy. What you see is what you get. You know, I like a good cocktail. I like a cheeseburger. I like to drop it while it's hot. I like some booty shake music.
Watch out now.
Okay, my favorite chicken is Church's, and my favorite liquor is Boone's Farm. So, you know.
Now, you know what? Press pause. Now, Daddy.
It's true.
Did you take me back?
I really did.
You know, she's a base for me because she's a base for me. I'm a good witch, honey. I would get a cauldron together, honey, and whip up a brew. And Boone's is the base. Yes. Right. All right because now.
You know what it is? It's connected to. It's funny. Will Smith was on Oprah the other day, and he was talking about, you know, even when you start making a lot of money and you're successful, sometimes you still have that broke mentality. And I remember back in the day, you know, when I didn't have, you know, when my pocket wasn't so cute, you know, when you're a struggling actor, Boone's Farm was $2.99, and it was refrigerated. Please. It was cute.
Okay, right. Hello? You get it cold for $3. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Hello?
Exactly.
Cold. Just ready to go.
Already chilled.
Right.
Okay,
ready to go. And take it to the head and be good. My friends always joke around that my friends always joke that I'm the ghettoest bougiest person that they know. So, oh well.
Well, you know what?
Well.
The whole thing of it is, the whole thing of it is, nobody said that the ghetto was supposed to have been fabulous, honey. You just learned how to adapt.
How about that?
What you know. Okay. And see, that's part of not forgetting where you came from, because those kinds of stuff grounded us.
Mm-hmm. You know,
really the Boone's Farm, the MD 2020 and carried on, the Nikolai and the 5 o'clock. Trust, honey. The bottom shelf stuff was what grounded us, and of course we learned to appreciate the top shelf. You know, we done got all sophisticated with Cristal and Moet.
Right.
You know, however, no, when you want a real buzz, honey, okay, some real partying, you know what to do, and I think some of us have forgotten that, quite frankly.
Well, you know, it's funny. I do a monthly brunch in LA, and it's very cute because I used to be a chef. So, you know, I like to show out, and there's tons of food and flowers, and, you know, the food is amazing. There's a spread. And and I'll have a bunch of champagne out, and juice and all that, and then I'll do a picture of Boone's Farm. Now, people don't know it's Boone's Farm. I just pour it in the pitcher over ice, cut up some fruit in it, make it look cute. The Boone's
Make it
Farm
look cute,
is the
right?
first to go.
Okay,
the Boone's Farm is always the first to go. So anyway. So that's my secret. If you ever have brunch at Maurice's house in Hollywood, boo, it's, the big colored picture is Boone's Farm. Yep.
Mhm.
Dig it. Okay, dig that. Taking notes. Okay. Okay, now let's move into you starting to understand your success. When you were starting to write The Ski Trip, I read, during my research of you, I could say that, I feel like such a journalist saying that. During my research, I had come across something in another interview and you said that The Ski Trip had come about from you being single and having to come out of a relationship, and then at the same time it was a number of your friends, and your girlfriends having the same plight. Everybody was, my man done me wrong blues, and I need to come up out of this, and so that there was the spark for the script for The Ski Trip. Now take us from that initial spark to having it go to make it logo what logo is today.
Wow.
Come on now.
Well, me and my friends used to always take trips together, and this is, I was really sort of coming into my ownness as a gay man, and we used to do all the prides, because, that's the only place we knew of where we could all get together and hang out. And so, we would do L.A., Atlanta, D.C., all of those spots. And, again, being young and not having money, there'd be, 5 or 6 of us up in a room. So there's always some drama about, who's bringing back company and who's single and blah, blah, blah. And in the midst of this, I actually was in love with my best friend, which I've actually never said publicly before. But back when I was a kid, I was in love with my best friend. And so there was always this really kind of longing that would go on when we would be out and he'd meet somebody or this or that, because I just felt like we'd be perfect together. And I'm kind of a mushy romantic. I'll keep it real. So,
wow.
Yeah, and so at one point we had one really dramatic moment one Memorial Day weekend in D.C. And there were fights and there were tears and there were all this kind of stuff and confessions. And so when I started writing Ski Trip and, I wanted to talk about relationships and dating and what it means to be, black and gay in this life and trying to have loving relationships with brothers and sisters and getting older and all the stuff that I was doing because I was about to turn 30, all of these things just began to flow out, and it just ended up becoming a very personal story. So I always say that, I'm a number of people in Ski Trip. A bunch of those characters have probably been me at different stages in my life.
At different stages.
Yeah, definitely. And I was dating someone at the time, and when he read the script, he's like, oh, my God. He's like, well, this is you and so-and-so, and this is you and so-and-so. Oh, this is the other week. And there were even a couple of moments that were him. So, and the names were changed to protect the innocent and the not so innocent, and and you wrap it up by getting all these folks away at a cabin retreat. I thought about sending them to a pride, and there was a draft in the script where they were going to a pride, but it became so big and was so ridiculous, and I didn't have any money, and at the time I didn't even know if I was ever going to shoot this movie. I was just writing because I just felt like I needed to get some stuff out, and
right,
yeah, and I was in New York, and
to purge, honey, yes,
baby. Right. You do. Sometimes you got to talk it out with a good Judy, and sometimes you have to get it out on paper. Because sometimes you can't talk to the good Judy because they're going to give you bad advice. So sometimes just write it out, people. Just write. And that's what I did. And I was in New York, and I was head of a group of young black filmmakers, and we were talking about new ways to make films, and we all sort of worked with each other. Like somebody would shoot a film, and you'd be someone's cinematographer, and the other person would be a producer, and then when it was your time to direct, we'd all switch around. So it came time for me to do my film, and I just kept saying that I really felt like we needed to find ways to really work together as a community, that it didn't need to take a lot of money, and it didn't need to be difficult, and that brothers and sisters have got to find a way to support each other. And I felt like you could make a feature film for $10,000. That's what I said. I was like, you can make a film for $10,000. I was talking big smack. Can I cuss, by the way? Oh, lovely.
Please do.
Okay,
I
lovely.
want you to let it be. We don't have the FCC regulations here.
Okay,
Let it go, honey. Shit.
I was talking major shit. Major shit that, you can shoot this film for $10,000. And so basically they called me out on it. They said, well, if you think you can shoot a film, a feature film for $10,000, then we'll shoot yours. And we're going to shoot next month.
Wow.
So literally I put a Craigslist ad out and some other folks and auditioned and met the amazing actors who were in the ski trip. I absolutely adored them. And they were all so incredibly right. Initially I didn't want to play the Corey role in the film. So I actually wanted to either be Byron, who's the very bitchy character, or Terry, who was the really dramatic, flamboyant one, just because I thought they were fun. And then Nathan Williams came in, and he was absolutely perfect to play Byron. He just came in and knocked it out the box. And then Darren Fleming walked in, and Darren was Terry. Like, he came in with all of the drama and the sequin shirt and the platforms and the skin tight jeans, and I was like, damn. Because I didn't like Corey, probably because he was too close to me. His characters are way too close.
Mirror, baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we shot that film on weekends for about a month, on Saturdays and Sundays, because we all had jobs. And and Chappelle Show was an amazing experience. It actually gave me time off so that I could get ready for my shoot, and then kept my job for me when I came back. And that never happens in TV. But Dave was amazing. The crew was amazing. And let this little gay boy go off and shoot this little gay film. And so we shot it. And then I was like,
as they saw it, right.
Yeah, and then it was like, then what? So we submitted it to a bunch of film festivals. All the black festivals said it was too gay. And all the gay festivals said it was too... Yes. All of them. They all rejected. They all rejected.
We're going to touch on that and just keep going. Damn it.
Because when Dirty Laundry came out, we had some conversations. So, but literally all of the black festivals said that the film was too gay. And all of the gay festivals said that the film was too black. Except for maybe one or two.
Shut up.
We played Oakland, we played D.C., and we played New Orleans. Those are the Real Affirmations in D.C., the New Orleans Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, and the Oakland Black Gay and Lesbian Film Festival. And we submitted to about 30. And those are the only festivals, I always give them their props, that accepted the ski trip. Because really, you're talking 2005, and it's crazy.
Exactly.
A lot has changed in the last 5 years. There really weren't any black gay films out there. And this is black and Latino, and they talk and they cuss and they use the word bitch and girlfriend and and they say fag and these were New York kids, and
they were living,
and people hadn't really seen a film like that. So we did a couple of festivals, and that was that. And then like I said, when I was a kid, I used to always go to the Pride, and all of the Pride promoters knew me because I was the crazy kid who always made all his friends dress in the same color. A hot mess. And so I called them and I said, hey, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember you. You're the one who always makes his friends dress in the same color theme. I was like, yeah. I said, I made a movie and I want to show it. And they're like, well, we don't have a film festival. I was like, well, you need to create a day, a moment, or something. And so that really, for a lot of the festivals, was sort of the beginning of some of their film festivals.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we did LA Pride at the beach, ATB LA. Those are my boys. Was the first festival. We did DC the following year. And the word just spread like wildfire. People just loved it. And then how did the deal with Logo happen? I lied. I was in Atlanta screening outdoors, and there were about 500 people. And it wasn't that I really lied. I just kind of implied that Logo would be a great place for the film, and that's where the film should be. And this is, Logo, this is 2005. Logo had just announced that they were, that MTV had just announced they were going to do this network. So I get back to New York about 2 weeks later, hanging out and back at work, and I get an email from someone at Logo that says that someone from Logo was in the audience, and they wanted to know where my film was because they had been talking about it now, but they didn't have it. Because the person at Logo thought, oh, how great. I love this film. I'm glad we have it. So he went back, talked to his boss, and his boss was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they literally did a Google search, found me on the Internet, sent me an email. I called them, and at the time, like I said, I was working on Chappelle Show, and they're all owned by MTV. So I'm upstairs in the offices, and I said, well, I've got a screener, I'm in New York, where do you want me to mail it to? And they gave me the address, and the address was the building that I'm standing in.
Shut up.
Yep. They were on the 4th floor, and our offices were on the 7th. I said, I'm upstairs. I'll be downstairs in 5 minutes. Took an escalator downstairs, walked into his office, and sat down and had a pitch meeting and gave him the film. And literally 2 weeks later, they called and made an offer on the film.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy. But again, man, that's what I mean about like walking in truth and doing you and because my thing is this: no one can do you, no one can speak your voice, no one can walk the way you do, no one can sing your song or dance your dance. And so when you stop being yourself, you allow somebody else to step into your blessings.
Hello now.
Because what the world has
and that person, that's right, that person becomes is not you. But it's a copycat facsimile.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're the first person to confirm that. I got that epiphany a while ago,
that
when something is laid out for you to do and you pass it up, there's going to be someone that's your copycat.
Right.
That has your essence, but it's not you that will step in. Baby, okay.
And then you're going to sit there and be like, ooh, I had that idea. Then you should have followed through.
That should have been me. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because the word was had. You had the idea.
Exactly.
You let it go. So yeah, man, it was crazy, and then it was a whirlwind from there. I mean, Logo launched, and Ski Trip was their first original film. Meaning, they had films that had been on the air before, whether it was Paris is Burning and stuff like that. And so Ski Trip was their first original film. And it was their first programming of color, because Noah's Ark, I don't think Noah's Ark wasn't on the air until like maybe 8 months later. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, so Ski Trip played like every other day. I mean, they played it to
Yes,
death.
they did, because they wore us out with it, baby.
Baby, they did, But the good thing about it was that, millions, about 13 million people saw that film, within about 6 months. And that was a great thing. I remember I was at a party. And I'm sorry, I'm just yapping, but I was at a
go, honey, go.
I was at one of the at a logo party, a couple months after the network launched, and Brian Graydon, who was the president of MTV Networks, comes up to me. He said, I've been looking at you all night. He's like, you're Corey. I said, excuse me? He's like, you're Corey from Ski Trip. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you made the film. I said, I did. And he shook my hand, and he told me that, there was a stack of films that the network had sent him for him to look at. And he had gotten into a fight with his boyfriend or something, and they were on some retreat at some cabin, and the film that he ended up popping in that night was Ski Trip. And he says he enjoyed it so much. And I think he said he ended up breaking up with that guy that weekend, and or something or another. But he really, really enjoyed the film, and I thought that was really cool. That here's this older white man who I didn't necessarily think was the audience for the film, who absolutely loved it, and then of course it ended up being the president of MTV, which is crazy. So,
but the story of it is universal.
It really is.
The story is universal. It's just what ends up happening, because with that particular movie, I thought it was very real, because it showed all of us as having a common thread. Everybody's looking for love, and then when you think you got what you want, you always have problems in a relationship, and the problems are the same fucking problems that everyone else has. Straight, gay, bi, tri, indifferent, questioning, don't know, don't give a damn. All of the problems are the same. The nuances about it may be a little different because it's a unique setting, but the basic problem is the same. Communication, I don't love you no more, we ain't fucking right. Whatever the case is, the problems are the same. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
and Ski Trip showed us as real people, not just with our flair and being queens or whatever, but it showed us as real people solving real problems.
Thank you,
and coming to grips with it.
Thank you.
And that's what I appreciated most about it. That's what drew me to you, because I said, okay, here's somebody who actually is giving it to me for real. Hollywood loves when they accept us, because particularly being black and gay in the entertainment business, we're taking a step and fetch approach, because Hollywood and our folks only want to see us one way, and that is if you between 5'7" and 5'10", slender build. you know, the quick-witted, one-liner, finger-snapping queen, honey, who's very fashionable, you know, real attractive or whatever. You know, you got a couple of dollars and, you know, you're always around and you're very feminine. That's what Hollywood and most of America sees as gay. But when they saw Ski Trip and you're able to see the different nuances of what gay is, you know, and then to see, okay, this is absolutely a person, and then, oh, I know somebody like that. Oh, and then they can identify and actually say, as they got over the shock of the finger snappers and the girlfriends and this, that, and that, and actually got into the story, then they was like, oh, well, shit, okay.
Exactly.
You know, and it became just real. And that's what I loved about that so much. Because as much as Logo played it, honey, I watched it almost every time it came home.
Right.
You know, because, of course, we wanted to give Logo the ratings. It was a new station. It was for us, by us, and, you know, that whole thing. And so I kept the TV on there, so every time it played, we sat down and carried on. So now you're here. How was that pressure for you? Because now you're doing something that, number one, has become groundbreaking. And on top of it, I'm sure you got a lot of firsts there. You're the first original picture. You know what I'm saying? You got the first original picture that they done picked up. You're the first picture of color that's utilizing not just African Americans, but the Latino community as well. You know, you're the first real big success that Logo has had, you know. So you got a lot of firsts there with the pressures. What was that like for you? Because now I'm sure everything was starting to spiral. You can't sleep because the phone is ringing. They want this appearance, that appearance, phone. You know, what was that for you?
It was a little overwhelming. I mean, it was, you know, it was really interesting. My really close friends who were like my family, they know that I'm actually a little on the shy side. And I am, you know, like a lot of artists, I'm much more comfortable on stage than I am in private. And so, on some level, it's easy for me to talk to a room of, you know, 500 people, but on intimate stuff, it can be a challenge sometimes. And so this was interesting because while I was going out and doing all of these public appearances, it was very personal. I mean, it was personal, obviously, because, you know, the story is my story and things that I had been through, but also because people really wanted to talk to me about what it meant to be me, what it meant to be black, or, you know, or someone like me, rather, because it really isn't about me. But people really want to know what it meant to be young, to be black, to be gay, to be out. And so I was doing a lot of sharing. And at first it was a little uncomfortable, a little overwhelming, but, you know, it has been such, and it was then and has been now, such an incredible blessing. It really is. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love going on the road and talking with folks. You know, if I do a screening and there's a Q&A and I'm there with the cast, you know, like with Friends and Lovers or something, I'm the last one to leave the theater because literally the ushers have to take me out because I want to talk with everybody there. And share a little bit. And so it was a lot. I mean, and then, you know, you think about on some level, you know, what your responsibility is because, you know, you are the first or you're the one that someone's looking at. And what does that mean? Because we don't get a lot of shots out there. And so if I'm messing it up, and I know how the industry works and, you know, even more so now after, you know, doing it professionally for some years, you know, if I mess it up, then that's the excuse they use for other people.
Exactly.
Well, we tried the black gay thing, and he was a hot mess.
Right.
So you can't get no money. And so for me, there has been, I do feel a responsibility that it's not just about me. I do represent our community in everything that I do. I represent it in my personal life on some level, and certainly in my professional life all the time, every day. You know, you know, I've sat across the desk from, you know, the presidents of BET, Logo, Here, Comedy Central, MTV, you know, the list goes on, and I've met with, you know, executives at every major studio on a number of occasions, and I've had good relationships, and I realize that in many instances, I'm the first person kind of like me that they've had this discussion with. And so how I handle that discussion and how I represent myself, you know, in this industry has an impact, and I know that it does. And so, is it a weight? I wouldn't say that, because weight implies burden. It is something that I carry, and I'm honored to carry it. Yeah. So, and that's the way I was raised. I mean, my family's, I come from a politically active family and a family of educated folks who really believe in giving back and don't believe it's enough to just get yours and do yours. And that you've got to be doing, you've got to be involved in your community. You have to be involved in charity work. My mom my mom's a retired school teacher, and we can't get her to sit still. I mean, she sits, she's working with this organization, that organization, and raising money for these people, and there's some college scholarship, and the ushers need new uniforms. I mean, it's constant, but that's the way that we were raised, and so for me, it's kind of the same thing. So I got to watch myself and make sure that I don't work myself to death, because I just believe like there's so much stuff out there to do, and I mean, I make movies for a living. Okay, right. I'm not, I'm not finding a cure for HIV and AIDS. I am not a rocket scientist. I'm not fighting Al Qaeda. I'm not even fighting Al Sharpton. So with all of that, I mean, I just feel so lucky. I really do that I get to do, I get to make movies for a living. I get to play. And so with that, I really do feel that for me that there's a responsibility as a filmmaker and as an actor to be connected to the community and to give back and do all that I can. Yeah.
All right. Now see, right when you said that, let me ask you this.
Uh-oh.
The responsibility of being a filmmaker, particularly with our community, okay? Now, this is going to be a twofold question, because I'm integrated. Where's my quote? Because you were saying in another interview during my research that the definition of masculinity for you, I get to paraphrase, because of course now that I want it, I can't find my direct quote.
Okay.
However, the definition for masculinity for you has changed, because it never meant what folks wanted it to be or wanted it to mean. You were saying that masculinity is not necessarily going to, be a thug here, a thug there. Here it is.
Uh-oh.
Here's the quote. There's such a fascination with men who are masculine. I don't necessarily define masculinity by the types of shoes you wear, the language you speak, or your physical characteristics. I define masculinity by your state of character as a man and who you are in essence. As black gay men, we really need to talk about what it means to be a man in our community. It's not about being a roughneck at some lounge in Brooklyn standing up against the wall. It's about being the kind of guy who takes accountability, the kind of guy who is responsible, the kind of guy who is involved in his community, and the kind of guy who advocates for his family. That, to me, is masculine. Now, I said that quote because as a filmmaker and you holding yourself responsible, what is your responsibility in putting that mirror up to us as an LGBT community when we have so many ills, masculine versus feminine, butch versus queen,
right.
The stud versus the non-stud, then you got the thin versus the big boy community is a whole nother issue because we've become a whole separate culture inside LGBT. What is that responsibility for you, or are you comfortable with saying, okay, I'm going to take on these particular challenges as I see them because this is what.
Hello? Hello? Meech? Hello?
All right then, my darlings. We do apologize for such a rude interruption. However, because all of this is all via internet and all via this, that, and the other, my area here in Atlanta, Georgia, the College Park area, has some kind of glitch and some kind of outage over here, and that's why we had dead air for this amount of time. I'm not going to be completely pissed about it. However, I am. But I'm not going to get all rambunctious and silly. But we are here, and I'm back. But what's going to happen is I've spoken with Maurice Jamal, and what we're going to do, we're going to schedule a part 2 for next week, okay? Because we're close to the end of this particular set and trying to pick it up, and it's just going to be a little hectic. So come join us back next week when we go in for part 2, and prayerfully, honey, all of these doggone computer glitches will be done with everything, and I won't have this problem again next week. But come back, and we'll join us then, and we'll move forward with the rest of the interview, okay? Lord have mercy. This just bothers me because we were on such a good roll. However, because you're here, I'm going to play this as a little bit of inspiration.
The sky is the limit for me. I can have everything. The sky is the limit for me. I can have everything I dream. The sky is the limit for me.
I'm like a roaring lion. A roaring
The sky is the limit
lion.
for me. I can have everything I dream. The sky is the limit.
I have enough faith to master God's great universe.
Sky is the limit for me.
What I believe about, I bring about.
Sky is the limit.
I bring about. I bring about. I cause. I cause. Do.
The sky is the limit.
Do.
The sky is the limit.
Do.
The sky is the limit. 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 The sky is the limit.
Whatever I set my mind on, I'm gonna do it. Nothing gonna stop me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I've been through too much time, and I won't give up. I've been through too much time, and I won't give up. Yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing.
The sky is the limit to what I can be.
Live your dreams. Believe.
Well, all right, honey, live your dreams. And speaking of living the dreams, I'm putting this in your ear here, and then I'm going to leave you with one more song. And that is, I want your feedback, and you tell me what you think about dishing tea with Big Meat, going national, going television, going, to the next step. Well, I see that vision. I've always had that vision, and so I'm going to need your support in helping me accomplish that. I will let you know when my video is up on the website. However, everyone should know by now that Oprah has started this challenge, and she's looking for the next big talk show host or whatever they're calling it. And yours truly is going to go out for it. So when I put the video up, hopefully that'll be sometime between today and tomorrow, I will let you guys know. Make sure you pay attention on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to post the email address up there, and I'm going to give you the link so that you can go watch my video and just vote for me, because the top 5 votes are the ones they're going to choose from. And I'm a little bit behind because someone already has 200,000 votes already. That was at the last time I saw it. So with that being said, honey, I need you. So from here on out, up until she says it's over and the votes are counted, I'm going to be pumping this so that you guys vote, okay? So with that, I think this song here that I'm going to close with for today's show is reminiscent of that. So with that, come in next week, and we're going to try this again, and we're going to do part 2 with Maurice Jamal